All right, welcome to Dual Redundancy, the only podcast where you can hear all latest in television and entertainment news with too many boys with exactly the same opinions. I'm one of the boys, David Allen, and another boy is
John Berwick, and a third boy is
Kyle Bridger. I would say that I am the butcher to John's Stan Edgar because he's working all the buttons and dials back there.
Don't do it.
And then I'll make Dave Frenchie. He just seems like a Frenchie character.
Okay, I could be Frenchie. I was real worried. I could
have done it.
I could have been Homelander. I could have been Deep.
Yes.
There's a lot of anyone really of the 7 you don't really want to be. But yeah, we're going to be talking about all those characters because today's episode is about The Boys. Season 3. We had 3 episodes for the premiere. We're going to talk about all 3 later on in the show. We've done like every episode of The Boys at this point. We'll try to keep it going. The summer's going to make it complicated, but all of 1, all of 2, they're all there in a special clip show we did a few weeks ago. But tonight, season 3. But before we get there, we have this first segment. And I don't know what it is. John?
In and out points.
In oder out. In oder out. In, out, in, out, in, out.
This is In and Out Points. On last week's podcast, we reviewed Top Gun Maverick. And there was no new films really at the box office this weekend. So it easily won in week 2. But it even surpassed expectations again. I figured we should check in on the box office because this was kind of a big story, what went down at the box office this weekend. Top Gun Maverick in week 2 made $86 million domestic. That's just a drop of 32%. That's a big deal because most of the time, these big movies, these big blockbusters, they drop like 50, 60% in the second weekend. This drop is actually the lowest for any film that's open to 100 million or more. To put things in perspective, Doctor Strange earlier this summer dropped 67% in week 2. So this is a 32% drop. It's doing well. A+ cinema score. People, word of mouth is good. John, you must be feeling good.
Yeah, man, I need it. And I'm happy.
Have you had a chance to see Top Gun Maverick yet?
No, I'm thinking maybe next weekend.
Week 3, there we go. There'll be another boost, I think, because of John.
I'll buy 1,000 tickets.
There you go. Kyle, are you surprised with this?
I knew it was going to be big. I think I'm surprised at how big it is. But I think people are kind of excited to go back to the theater. And I think this is a movie where maybe if you were on the fence about it, you hear good things about it. Now I got to go see it on the big screen rather than at home. Either way, I think the film's going to be awesome. But, it's always better to get it on the big screen, I guess.
Yeah, and I think it's helped by the lack of competition. Even though, movies are back and the theaters are going, I feel like if this came out that summer of 2019, when it was every weekend there was a blockbuster, it was like, Lion King, and then the next weekend it was Aladdin, and then it was Toy Story 4, and then it was whatever, Captain America, whatever. It was just like boom, 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 boom. It was, nothing really new came out this weekend. So it's like that helped it. A week before it really, I don't think anything came out. The 9 films we chose in our box office draft are like the 9 films coming out this summer. And then there's some other little ones in between, but so I think that certainly helps it. And yeah, it's a good film. Word of mouth is good.
Mm-hmm.
There's not many films like it because most of the time in these movie theaters nowadays, it's just superheroes and it's animated whatever. And it's like, no, this is something a little different.
Yeah. The difference is Tom Cruise.
Yeah, Tom Cruise.
That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah. So far, the film has made globally $548 million. In the States, that's where it matters for our draft. It's at $291 million.
Wow. I think that's got to be beating.
Not yet. Doctor Strange is still at $388 million because you have a few more weeks ahead of us. So, but they're close. It's closing the gap.
Wow.
It's
How much did you say Top Gun had? 291.
291. So there's less than 100 million right now.
Yeah, I think John's gonna beat me here.
I don't know. Doctor Strange is coming, I think, soon to Disney Plus, maybe in the next month or so. So its
Yikes.
days are over. I got a film coming out this
Yikes.
weekend. My first film drops, Jurassic World Dominion. I'm really hoping that the people saw Top Gun and they saw it. Okay, now we're ready for another film. Having that week in between. But then again, it could keep overperforming and then not really leave anything for me. So I'm hoping. I'm hoping something happens for Jurassic World this weekend, but we'll see.
What if they go back to the theaters for Top Gun again?
They might.
And brush off
Yeah.
Jurassic World.
They could.
So nice they saw it twice, you know?
Yeah. But, one film tried to take advantage of the slow release this weekend by a re-release. Sony tried re-releasing Morbius. It came out in April, and they added 1,000 more theaters this weekend. They saw the memes online. Man, this film must be popular. People are ready for Morbin time. Here we go.
More ready for Morbin time.
Well, it made just $85,000 on Friday. That's a per screen average of $82. That's it, 82.
Yeah.
$2,082. That might be what I have, in my wallet here. Like, that's it. Like,
it's Morbin time, though.
Yikes. But
I can't tell you how much of a disconnect there is among the decision makers of whatever this was between their understanding of internet culture and what it actually means.
Yeah.
Because nobody in their right mind thought like, oh, let's put this back out with what people are saying. It's stupid.
It's the no news is good news crowd. Like, it doesn't work that way. This isn't very popular. People making fun of it. Re-releasing is not going to do anything for it.
Yeah.
They weren't in on the joke. They thought they were laughing with them instead of laughing at it. But
yes.
All right. Morbius, it doesn't look like it's going to be a box office hit. I think it's still at like 74 million domestic or something. Even with this re-release, it's still not hitting that 100. But maybe you can check it out, if not in theaters, on Redbox. That's our next in and out point. And an all stock deal worth about $375 million. The parent company of Crackle, which is Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment, is acquiring Redbox. What did I just? I was stumbling through it because I don't understand what I just said.
Oh my god!
So Crackle is owned by Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment, and they just bought Redbox.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
This is the three amigos that are just like the leftover pickings of streaming. What is this? Redbox, Crackle, and Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment.
Dude, Chicken Soup for the Soul. I haven't seen those things in I don't know how long.
I remember this back in middle school.
Yeah,
they had a few books
super popular.
Chicken Soup for the kids' soul. Chicken Soup for the
I didn't know they were so popular to have a whole company surrounding them.
I know. I know Crackle's not that big of a deal, but if you told me to like put these in order here, I would have thought Crackle at the top.
Yeah.
Then maybe Redbox, then Chicken Soup for the Soul. Instead, it's like the opposite.
Yeah.
Chicken Soup is the big dog. It's the Disney Plus. And then it has a little thing extra of Crackle and underneath it, Redbox. It's like, what?
Yeah. I didn't know Redbox was still a thing anymore. I mean, it probably is in like the middle of nowhere, like where we grew up. But
that's what I mean.
Yeah, with John. I think I used it maybe like 3 years ago for some right before the pandemic, some like Oscar movies that were already on DVD that were out of theaters that were like, okay, I can get this for $2 and rent it and for the weekend or whatever and catch up.
Yeah.
Redbox, best known for its 38,000 red dispensing kiosks. They recently expanded into streaming and production, I guess. They went public last
Why?
fall. The stock, it went past $15 a share before soon after it hit the rocks and dipped as low as $1.61 a share. We're talking Morbin time numbers. But yeah, I just thought, like, I read this headline. I'm like, this is a Mad Lib. And these are the films that maybe Chicken Soup wanted. This is what they wanted because this is what Redbox is producing. We have The Fanatic starring John Travolta and Devon Sawa.
Is that guy on top in the art supposed to be John Travolta?
Yeah, it is.
Oh my God.
We have a thriller called Becky, and it stars.
Wait, they need an actual arrow pointing to him. So
The
that
name is above it.
it's
This is the
him.
one time
Yeah.
when the movie poster, the name is actually correct. Normally they're all out of order. But we have Becky starring Kevin James. I guess he was like a serial killer in that one. It was a dramatic performance from
He
Kevin
looks like
James.
Santa Claus, doesn't he?
I guess he dyed the beard a little bit.
Yeah.
And then we had Chick Fight starring Malin Ackerman and Alec Baldwin.
Oh my God.
So these are the films that Redbox was making that Chicken Soup for the Soul was like, sign us up. We're
Gotta
in.
have it.
Gotta have it.
Hey, I mean, I have no idea what people watch anymore, though. So I just think it's wild that anybody wants to get in production knowing how fractured all the markets are. Like, do we really think the Fanatic? I mean,
how much
there's
could the
no way they
Fanatic have
think the
cost and how
Fanatic-
much could it have gotten back? There's no
Yes.
way
Yeah.
it could have made its money back. It's impossible.
Your distribution cost is a lot lower because you own it. But
I guess, and you have the distribution box, so you can just print off DVDs and just hope somebody accidentally clicks it, thinking it's going to be Staying Alive or something. And
it's also a lot more limited because you have to go to a box or stream it from their service.
Yeah, I'm looking for a budget. I can't find a budget for the Fanatic, but I guess it was released in 52 theaters in the U.S. and it made $3,153 total.
Wow.
So, still under Morbius, but yeah, there's no box office here. But you got to think that, like, sure, it's John Travolta in 2022. He made Gotti, but he's making more than $3,000 on the film. That's for sure.
I'm curious to the ones that did go to see it. Like, are you that into movies that you know it, or is it all critics? Or do you just like walk and you're like, oh, I need something to do, and so you go into the theater?
Maybe what they wanted to see was sold out.
Maybe.
Like, oh, that's John
Devon
Travolta.
Sawa
All
fans. They had to check out his latest film. I don't know, but yeah, look for it in your next Redbox or Chicken Soup. I don't even know where you could get Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment products. I guess at Redbox, but all right.
Oh man.
One last in and out point, and this involves one of my favorite topics. Well, actually, I do like this topic because of how it all turned out for Seth Green. He teased a trailer for White Horse Tavern at the NFT conference VCon. And in this comedy, there's a neighborhood bartender, and it's being played by one of Seth Green's NFT characters, Bored Ape Yacht Club 8398. Well, it was one of his NFT characters. He said, I bought the ape in July of 2021, and I've spent the last several months developing and exploiting the IP to make it into the star of this show. Then days before, his name is Fred, by the way, days before he's set to make his world debut, he's literally kidnapped. An anonymous scammer swiped 4 of Green's NFTs in a phishing scam. A collector known as Darkwing84 purchased it for $200,000, and now Green is tweeting at the user to reclaim the bored ape. Some say that Green no longer owns the commercial rights to the NFT, so the show can't move forward.
Wow. Wow, dude, that's crazy.
I'm picking on him, but like, none of this exists. This is all made up.
I
It's
know.
Whose Line. It's where the points don't matter. This is
Yeah.
exactly this. You expected this to be yours and yours alone forever. This is just zeros and ones, and it's just
Yeah.
On top of that, why don't you have better security for your stuff?
Yeah.
If this is something that's hinging on the project, why doesn't the company that is funding this or doing whatever have a separate account where it's locked away, where no individual person has it, where the password is great and it's not auto logged in on a machine to get phished or anything? Why is it on your laptop at home? Like where you'll get phished by somebody.
Yeah.
Like I if you're banking on it that hard, why are you not protecting your assets?
yeah. You made a production. You made this show. You spent thousands, maybe $1 million, I don't know, on this production, hinging on one of these characters, and then you just make it. It's gone. It's like, yeah, if you had a dramatic show, whether it was Saul or The Boys or whatever it is, it's just like having all the scripts just on your desktop, just waiting for somebody. Just it's like, no, that's like important intellectual property that's worth a lot of money, and could cause a lot of issues if it gets out there. And this thing got out there. It's just, oh
Dude.
man.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks for him, but dude, this whole thing, this whole NFT thing seems like a scam.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's in the purchasing process or, who's involved, there always just seems like a scam is going on. Didn't a bunch of people just get hacked this weekend and lost a bunch of stuff? So it's like, I mean, I don't know how you can trust this at all. It's so weird. It's like snake oil salesman. I don't get it. But with digital art, it's
This
crazy.
and like in the cryptocurrency stuff and all these celebs like trying to get regular people involved, and all the ads you see on TV from Matt Damon and all these other people. It's just like, it's kind of like, good, you celebs are getting swindled here, and not some poor, nobody, John Schmo from whatever. It's just, I'm sure those stories are happening, but like, I'm, hopefully not at this level.
And
Well, geez.
a big difference is you're sitting at home and you get phished in your bank account. It's probably somebody targeting just you, and your bank can help you deal with that and report the person. With all this stuff, with the NFTs, everyone's in a Discord, which means everybody that has an NFT or multiple NFTs is in the same spot, easily accessible for somebody to put a link down and hundreds or thousands of people to click on it. And it's all in, this OpenSeas or a couple other places to buy it. So it's not like they have to customize it for your bank. It's one, it's really easy to mass fish with this. So, and as much as I know OpenSeas does try and flag things that they think are stolen and all that, they're not a bank. They don't have the assistance of the government. They're not, they're not investigating fraud. So your support system for this doesn't exist. So it's super easy to just get rooked,
Yeah. Well, I did say that, Green no longer maybe owns the commercial rights to the NFT, that the show can't move forward because of this. He says not so fast. He says, quote, "Not true, since the art was stolen. A buyer who purchased stolen art with real money and refuses to return it is not legally entitled to exploitation usage of the underlying IP. It'll go to court, but I prefer to meet Darkwing 84 before that."
See, there's an issue with that, though.
Yeah.
Because the way NFT works is there's a ledger that gets written to, and while someone did steal it, the ledger says that Dark owns it, or whatever their name was.
Not our Dark, different
not
Dark.
Our Dark, different Dark. Yes. So legally or conceptually or whatever, it's whatever that ledger says. So I don't know if it matters that it was stolen in this case, because that's not where your proof is. I don't know. It's a tough one, and there's nothing. There's no real laws about it.
It's a whole new thing. I mean, who knows what the laws of NFTs are, because it's such a new thing. And either way, I still think it could block the show from being released, because if it's gonna go to court, I'm sure it's like, okay, hold off, we're not doing this show.
You can't air it while it's in court.
So it is gonna cause an issue. It's gonna delay it. It's just well, but oh well. We'll have to wait and see if Darkwing 84 or R Dark or whoever can figure out and give it back to Seth Green.
Help Seth Green out.
Yeah.
Dude, what a mess.
What a mess. Maybe you can get it back for $1 million. How old is that reference? Okay.
I know. Well, how old is Seth Green? I mean, geez, let's be honest here.
Yeah. But all right. We have another segment. And normally in this segment, we look at the top 10 of Netflix and see what's up, what's low, but we have some Netflix news. So instead this week we're gonna also figure out what the hell is going on at Netflix with What the Q.
What the is going on?
All right. So we got some stories with Netflix this week. We spoke about Netflix and how they want to crack down on password sharing, and that they were going to test this program in Costa Rica, Chile, and Peru. Well, it ain't going well. Let's just say that the core issue around this is household. What is a household? Netflix is charging people $2-3 extra to share their account with anyone outside of their household. But what does that actually mean? There's a lot of confusion around that. Netflix officially says it's people who, it's people that a subscriber lives with, not a subscriber's immediate family. But then it's like, well, what are you going to do? How are you going to define that? Because you're going to tie to a physical location. So what if you move? You're on vacation. You leave for the weekend. A child goes off to school. Relatives are staying over. There's so many questions with this. John, you initially sent me this article. What do you think about this just mess that they're in right now?
I think it's insane. Like, how can you ever police this to any degree? And especially from what I read in the article, it seems like if you called up Netflix or chatted or whatever and complained, they waived it in certain cases. Like, and some people had it waived and some people didn't. And it's like, how are you so inconsistent with enforcement and you're expecting this to go well, A? And B, who buys a license for their family and expects them to only use it inside? Like, sure, you have the family room TV. Maybe the kids have, like, their computers. But, like, nobody in my family lives with my parents anymore. Like, my brother just moved back in from college. But, like, there's a whole bunch of us. We subscribe to Netflix so the family has it, not so that my family's house has it. I'm not driving to my family.
It's just those four walls. That's all the only people inside those four walls can have it. But like, let's say, for instance, your brother that you mentioned, he's coming back from school and now he's there, so he's part of that household. But when he goes back to college, now he's not part of that household? He has to give up his Netflix. If your parents go away for a weekend, it's like, oh, now they're in California. Do they have to? It's just like, There's too many issues with this. And you mentioned how users in Peru were confused on the rules, and that there was a customer service rep said, if a customer calls and complains, they should be given a special verification code that will let them use their account in multiple locations. So you're not enforcing it if they complain, then what's the point of the charge?
You're
the
just
program
trying to get a few extra dollars. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
And those who are willing to just pay it and not question it are doing it, I guess. And those who are like, hey, that's not right, are getting a pass, so they keep getting their money every month. But like, I don't know. This doesn't in any way sound beneficial.
It sounds bad for customer service, and it sounds like it's gonna, bring about a bad name for Netflix. But I mean, I guess this is why they're test running it before launching it full, because I'm guessing they knew these kinds of problems are going to exist. I mean, even thinking like kids going off to college. All right. Yeah. Are they in the household anymore? I mean, they're still technically dependent on their parents. So how does that work? You know what I mean? It's just you
got to send in your birth certificate to prove you're under 18 and still dependent on your parents.
And it's all for just $2-3 extra dollars. It's just, and this is the same company that a year or two ago had a famous tweet that was like, love is password sharing or something like that. And it's just like, not anymore. We need the money. Puff it up. But There was also an article that came out this week from the Hollywood Reporter talking about some of the many changes that they're going to be making after, the stock is tumbling and subscribers are dropping. Pretty much for movies, bigger, better, fewer. Those are the three things that they're going to be focusing on. Supposedly, like, for instance, the article mentions instead of making maybe two $10 million movies, they'll make one $20 million movie. So it's bigger, fewer, and better. The goal will be to make the best version of something instead of cheapening out for the sake of quantity. Quantity.
Okay.
No more floor is lava and cake wars.
We're not
No.
there yet.
No.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. I like the mindset, but I don't see it, especially because some of these big movies that they've done recently, critics wise, it's like, are they really? I mean, I guess if the audience is watching it, but like when you watch a Netflix movie, what are you expecting, Kyle, out of it? Are you expecting something that you can just have on in the background while you're doing laundry?
I don't know what to expect anymore when it comes to these movies. It's almost, I was thinking about it the other day when I was flipping through. It's like these look like straight to DVD,
straight to chicken soup for the entertainment soul.
Yeah,
whatever.
like TV movie worthy production values. So maybe the Netflix is to the point of, hey, we've got a base of content to search for. Now we can maybe work on quality more so. The problem is if you're making fewer and they still stink, then the problem is going to get even worse. You know what I mean? Because now you don't even have as much.
Yeah. I'm trying to see like what's like, like what's trending. I mean, like I'm looking at it like right now. I mean,
I feel like I always see a
shows in the
Ryan
top 10
Reynolds movie.
is Floor is Lava in the top 10 for TV shows. And yeah, like, I mean, the movies right now in the top 10, I'm doing it live, so John doesn't have to pull it up, but it's just like, the
It's
Interceptor
Anchorman,
is
right?
number 1. Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield is 2. Anchorman is 3. None of these movies are Netflix movies.
Yeah.
It's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. The Johnny Depp one is 9. Dumb and Dumber is 10. It's like the movies that you're making are in your top 10. But
I don't know why they wouldn't go with if they want to act like a studio, go with like a studio schedule.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you're going to do like, think about how many big movies a big studio does, maybe do as many as they do.
Yeah.
Is that, you know what I mean?
I think it was like, maybe it was at the end of this year or the year before, we mentioned in an article that they want to have like a movie a week or like every week a movie. It's like, that's just 52 movies a year. Like that's just not possible. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you could do it, but they're not going to be 52 hits. That's for sure. They're just going to get buried. And, in some of the movies that they did in the past were these like, more expensive movies. And in the article, they said, quote, the era of expensive vanity projects like Martin Scorsese's $175 million The Irishman are gone. They're probably not going to do those as often. Quote, this tendency to do anything to attract talent and giving them carte blanche is going away. It's like, well, will talent want to work there now? Like, you're not going to get Martin Scorsese and David Fincher and Jane Campion and all these people that, like 10 or 12 Oscar nominations, say what you will, but The Irishman was talked about. Maybe people were on late night shows making monologue jokes about how long it was, but it was talked about. I just looked up the number 1 movie, The Interceptor on Netflix, a Netflix original. I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
Never saw it on Twitter. Never saw anything about it. I don't know a thing about it, but it's the number 1 movie. Like, will it be by tomorrow? Will Dumb and Dumber and Anchorman surpass it? Probably.
Yeah.
But this is all in addition to a leaked memo from a few weeks ago that the streamer will not censor specific artists or voices, even if employees consider the content harmful. And they bluntly stated, if you find it hard to support our content, Netflix may not be the place for you. And in that same memo, it said there was a vow to spend our members' money wisely. So those are our 2 things. It's like, if you don't like our content, employees, get out. That's what we're doing. And we're going to spend the money wisely. John, you mentioned one of the shows. Here's what they're going to do wisely. The same week of these articles about No More Irishmen, we got news that Netflix has renewed Is It Cake for a second season. And I also saw in the upcoming weeks there is going to be a show called Man vs. Bee. It's a comedy series starring Rowan Atkinson, where the Mr. Bean star battles a bee as he house sits an elegant mansion. You got it. You got it. Well spent. You spent my money wisely. Thank you, Netflix.
Yeah, it's wild. But you wouldn't believe. I mean, I work with a lot of teenagers, and they would not stop talking about Is It Cake for about 3 weeks solid.
It's fine, but then go all in on that. Stop doing this like, oh, 175 million for The Irishman, and then 2 seasons of Is It Cake. Like, pick your lane and just go with that. Just be that service.
I mean, Netflix is no better than like TLC at this point.
Yeah. I just like the Man versus Bee is literally the Fly episode of Breaking Bad, now expanded into an ongoing series. This should be a movie, if anything. Like, I can't wait for 10 episodes to see him knocking over vases and whatever in the mansion while he tries to get to the bee. Like, I know I don't even have to watch it. I know what it is.
There's already an animated series for Mr. Bean, and in one episode called The Fly, he fights a fly. How is this any different except it's not animated?
Well, I'm sure he got Netflix to pony up like 50 million or something for it, you know. But those days are over. No more.
But I think it's unfair to call the Scorsese the Irishman vanity project, because like you said, people were talking about it. It's not like it didn't get any traction. It was critically well reviewed. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's a lot of money, so maybe they could rein it in that way. But I mean,
how many like Ryan Reynolds movies, like Red Notice and the Adam Project and all these things, are like probably 200 million plus a pop. Like, are they really getting that much out of those? Like, how many people are watching Red Notice today? Like, I don't know, but that is what is going on at Netflix. That's our rant. That's our summary of what is going on over there. We're going to move to another streaming service to really break down a few episodes of this new series or new season of a series. Send us back.
Back in time.
We're back, baby.
Gotta get back in time.
All right, The Boys, season 3. We have 3 episodes on June 3rd. There you go. Payback, The Only Man in the Sky, and Barbary Coast. We're going to talk about those 3 episodes. We're going to spoil up until that point. All 3 episodes, season 3. 1 year after Stormfront, the boys are now working as contractors to the Bureau of Superhero Affairs, and the captain of the Seven, Homelander, is dealing with having to share now captain duties with a new co-captain, Starlight. All right, we all saw all 3 episodes. Let's start off with John. Good to be back.
Oh, man. Yes, very much so. And boy, did that first episode start with a bang. Several in a row, if you want to go into it. Yeah, I'm really glad it's back. I've been really enjoying this season. I think that they're pushing the boundaries, which is good in this case, and I think it's kind of paying off for them. So I'm for it. I'm in for it still. You know, 3rd time's a charm, and it's working for me.
Yeah, I started this and I was like, is this still gonna have the the violence and the vulgarity and the craziness of past seasons? And I'm watching it, and episode 1 starts off and we have them having sex in a bathroom and they're pulling out the hair. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess that's the whatever scene this week. Then a minute later goes by. And Termite, our little Ant-Man superhero, is told, I want you inside me. And he goes inside him.
Yeah.
right into someone's manhood, grows too soon, and there was a sex scene. I was like, oh, yep, this is the boys. This is the boys. I'll go back to that in a little bit, but Kyle, what did you think of the season 3 premiere episodes?
I think it's still really good. One of the best shows on TV, probably. Yeah, it's just fun to be back. I feel like they do everything so well. The dialogue is really good, especially Butcher's lines. It's just it's really cool. It's a satire on the world today, really. There's a lot going on, and it's just it's just a really good show.
Yeah, that was my next note. The satire, I feel like, is still there. They're making fun of, conglomerates, probably like Disney, owning all these superhero movies and theme parks. And, we get Deep's like Lifetime movie based off his book about how he escaped like a Scientology-like church. Reality show, American Hero, trying to figure out who's the new member of the Seven. And they have like the cheesy line at the end, like, all right, please hang up your cape and go. Like, like it's or whatever, like those Bachelor type shows. But we have it here with the Seven. It's just making fun of everything. I mean, that thing had to go back to with Termite. It's like people joked leading up to Endgame that like the theory of how they were going to defeat Thanos was Ant-Man was going to shrink down, go inside, and like blow himself up. And like that was such like a joke, a meme on the internet, and they put it into the show as like a thing. They really did it, and it's just wild. It's vulgar. It's all over the place. It's violent. It's just it's funny. It's for three guys who really kind of okay with superhero movies, like we don't love all the recent Marvel stuff. I feel like this is a good one for us because it has the superhero elements, but it's making fun of a lot of them as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But,
yeah.
I got some other overall thoughts, and then I think we should go with this. I think that's what we did with our rewatch. We'll go kind of like character by character because there's so much going on. There's so many characters with the show now, but I want to start off with just maybe some cameos first. We start off, we get an A-lister. Charlize Theron is in. She's Stormfront, or at least a Stormfront in the movie version of it.
Yeah.
And wasn't expecting that. And then also I wasn't expecting the original Stormfront to be alive.
Yeah, I was
at least for a little bit.
Too.
She was alive for a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced she's dead. I mean, with everything this show was thrown at us, like, I don't know, man. I could easily see that being like her plan, like, how she survived all this time is she keeps faking that she's dead or whatever, and so she bit her tongue off and it bled out, and then she left her. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
It's certainly possible. I mean, technically, like, did we like see the body? We saw a stretcher, but like we didn't, I don't think, see the body this time.
Yeah.
So it's possible. But yeah, I wasn't expecting Cash to be back as Stormfront, but she was there at least for an episode or two. And we also got another new superhero, Soldier Boy. This first 3 episodes, at least, have mostly been focusing on trying to find information about him and where he is and what he's doing and what the real story is, because supposedly he died saving the world from like a nuclear holocaust event. But in episode 3, we get this flashback. Instead, it shows maybe he was killed with this like special superhero killing gun and was then taken by the Russians. This is where I'll believe he ain't dead. He's not dead. He was taken by the Russians, but he ain't dead.
Yeah.
And it looks like the, Butcher and the boys may be going to Russia in the upcoming episodes. What do you think so far of Soldier Boy as a character? A great name for a superhero. But,
I mean, yeah, they're making fun of the Captain America thing, and he just has that like fake bravado, that over just overboard on everything. But that's what makes it funny and good. And when they get into trouble and when they're acting like jackasses, it makes it that much better, I think. So I think it was also funny that Butcher was making fun of the gunman dude there.
Yeah, gunpowder. Yep.
Yeah, gunpowder.
His little sidekick. Yeah, and that leads into what's going on with Butcher. He's kind of still dealing with some kind of father issues over having to raise Homelander's kid from afar, with
Mm,
the death of his wife and the kid's real mother. But looks like this season we kind of can see it in the promo art and the posters and stuff that he may be taking Compound V himself here. This special like 24-hour Compound V, 5-hour energy drink.
yeah,
Uh,
with some lasting effects.
yes. In this world, Vaught's going to use it, I think, or sell it to the military, sell it to soldiers, 2 million a pop. That's going to make it quite a good payday for Vaught. But he uses it, I think, in episode 2 to get information from Soldier Boy's sidekick, Gunpowder. But now we're seeing the side effects, or at least he's constantly throwing up. Is he okay? Are we going to get more side effects from this? Lasting effects? I mean, this is an experimental drug, and again, promo art shows that he's going to have maybe some powers throughout the season, I think. What do you think, guys? Is he John?
I think it's very possible, or either that he'll be kind of addicted to it, almost like A Train was, and figure out a way to keep getting it. You know,
That's possible. It's just fun for like the show for this character who, I mean, hates superheroes, hates this whole idea, to have him now kind of take it, and then if he does get addicted to it, or yeah, even just have powers, because I can easily see he's gonna take on Homelander maybe one-on-one this season. That is the poster, and we're seeing like this. Obviously they have this thing with the sun where he wants to raise the sun a certain way. Homelander wants to even know where the sun is and then raise him a certain way. So it's this battle of the fathers, and yeah, two different people. But that'll be interesting to see what goes on with that. And if we get a big battle towards the end of the season with them. Let's move over to somebody that the Butcher threw up on, Huey. He can't catch a break. He's breaking his arm. He's getting thrown up on, blood spatter everywhere. He's just constantly getting stuff on him. But he's working for Congresswoman Newman, who we learned at the end of season 2 is the one blowing up people's heads.
Yeah.
And we didn't waste time for Huey to find out. End of episode 1, he sees her in an alley, do it to an old friend of hers, Tony. And now they're co-workers with this little secret between them. How's this going to end up for him, Kyle?
I mean, I hope okay, but yeah, she's already blown up Congress. You know what I mean? So she's a wild card, but I think we're learning more about her. She's basically the child of Stan Edgar. So now we're adding that in, the head of Vought and all that. And we see that Stan Edgar has his like fingers in every pie, the good ones and the villains, just so that he can sell this Compound V. But yeah, I don't know. She's gonna be a wild card for sure.
I may be really reading into it, but in episode 1, they're at the red carpet, and there was a scene where Newman tells Huey, "Do me a favor and kill me," and Huey's like, "Only if it's murder-suicide." And I don't know if there's something in those lines here. Like, obviously, it was just a joke because they're at this red carpet event that neither want to be at. But even just like the idea of Newman telling Huey, "Do me a favor and kill me," are we gonna get some kind of battle between them at some point this season?
I feel like we have to, just because the position Huey's in. Like, he's basically been duped, and into working for the people that he was trying to get rid of. So yeah, I can't imagine that it doesn't come to a head where the two of them are at least in some sort of conflict.
He's got to take the soup juice though, don't you think?
There you go.
He needs something, or he has to get his girlfriend Starlight to fight his battles. Huey and Starlight are red carpet official. He's a little bit jealous though of the old fling, Supersonic. Supersonic is at the American Hero Show, the new member of the Seven.
Supersonic, he formerly had a song, I think, that said, lyrics. She's 16 and she's driving into my heart, or something like that. She's
Okay, well,
like those old Justin
yeah.
Timberlake, Britney
Yeah,
Spears,
it was
Mickey
a
Mouse
funny
Club.
like music video 90s, uh song there, but yeah, Supersonic is like a perfect, it sounds like from like, what was it, like Xenon? I don't know if you remember that Disney Channel movies. I feel like Supersonic was the singer in that movie or whatever it was. But um even though Huey is jealous of Supersonic, he should maybe also be worried of Homelander, because there's some drama Starlight is going through right now with Homelander. First, she was upgraded to co-captain of the Seven because she's polling so high, wholesome image. She's doing well. Homelander's slipping. He was with a Nazi, so it's the numbers are going down for him. But Homelander's obviously pissed by this whole thing. He's trying anything and everything to try to humiliate her. He's changing the teleprompter on his like birthday telecast, and then we get the end of season or episode 3, where he kind of lies a little bit here that they're officially dating. Congratulations, Starlight and Homelander. And that's all obviously a ruse to get their scores even higher.
Yeah.
The two of them together. But as you can see with her fist that she was holding at the end of this, she is not happy with this. I'm sure Huey will not be happy. But yeah, what do you think? What was their home light? Was their
Yeah,
name?
hashtag home light. Yeah, no, I mean, the start of this season, even more so than usual, anytime Homelander's on the screen, because everything is scorched earth to him now.
Yeah.
So it's just like you have no idea what he's going to do. And now that he knows how he's perceived when he acts however he wants, it's going to be insanity, because the guy's unhinged at all. And every scene he's in, it's like, what in the world is going on? Even the ones where he gets beaten, because you see his reaction and what's that's going to come back to haunt that person,
Yeah. I mean, he feels unstoppable right now after his birthday telecast, where he kind of blew up there and was just like, yeah, I'm under control. They're trying to cancel me and put me in a box and do all this other stuff. The next day, when he's polling really high with, people in the Rust Belt, as they said, it's like, oh, they like that. And it's like, oh, now he's got a little taste of that. He's like, oh, I can do a little bit of that. And he doesn't even care about the airplane video blackmail thing, because he says, hey, I'll lose everything. But then again, I have nothing to lose. He's like, I can literally destroy the world. Like, have at it. So that's not good. We have an unhinged Homelander. We got a line from Stan, who was like, as long as I'm CEO, I can keep him under control. That's another foreshadowing line, I think. As long as I'm CEO, ... Okay, we'll see how long this lasts here. But if this, it could be a battle with Newman and Homelander. I mean, Newman obviously has ties with Stan as well. Pretty much was raised by him. Maybe picks his side, fights for him against Homelander. Who knows? But yeah, I will say, we're talking Homelander here. He's even worse than usual. It's one of those characters where you love to hate. He says the actor does such a great job with this character, but I mean, forcing Deep to eat the live octopus.
This
Timothy,
scene, dude.
Poor Timothy.
Praying for his life.
Yeah. And then it's always an interesting choice, because it's like, I feel like I liked how they did it, but like, Deep is hearing Timothy's thoughts, but we're not hearing it. And I think that it just added so much to it, because like, if you put a voice to it, it could come off as comedic or over the top.
Yeah.
But like, we just see the face, and we're just, we can imagine what poor Timothy is actually saying. But the worst one has to be, and this one was, it left me with a bad pit in my stomach, was he was tasked to save, kind of like in an annual publicity stunt that's probably was, this is my one of the year, and they have it recording. He was going to save somebody who was thinking about committing suicide by jumping. And by the end of all this, she was like ready to not go through with it. And he forces her into it. And it was just like, just the monologue that is it what's his name? Anthony, I'm forgetting
Anthony
his
Starr.
Anthony Starr gives is just, yeah, you just love to hate this guy. He's doing such a great performance as Homelander.
Yeah,
But,
he's next level, man. Oh, he's terrifying.
yeah.
That octopus scene when it was happening, I had half my eyes cut. I'm like, dude, God, it's so
eating it live. Oh man.
Oh God.
Yeah, and all of them, because it was that the same octopus or was it a different one that he was watching when
I think it's the same one because his wife sends the text message like, you eat that octopus, and now that holds more weight to it because I think she knew, because when he
all
said
your arms,
all your arms, she was like, oh my God. So I think that was like payback from his even wife, which is, his wife is crazy too.
Yeah. Everyone's nuts on this show. Is there anyone I'm missing? Those were my main people I wanted to get through with these first 3 episodes. I mean, there's so many characters. I just realized, did we even see Maeve? Like, what is she doing? Is she even in this?
Well, she's helped. Yeah, no, we saw her. She was
there.
She helped out Butcher. She gave him the 24-hour V.
I missed that.
Oh boy, I didn't realize it was her.
Yeah, maybe it was just her not in her outfit.
Maeve is the Homelander's ex, right?
Well, Maeve is Wonder Woman, kind of. Yeah, I guess it was his ex. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she was the one that, because she tipped the Butcher off to somebody that Newman was looking for, right?
I think so. There's so many characters and it's been so long. I missed it too, John, of like, it's like maybe missing the costume. There's so much going on. Definitely has, warrants another go around. See all the little details in this show and all the little jokes and all the little connections. I mean, we saw Noir's face, at least in a flashback, at least one version of Noir. I mean, who knows who's actually under the mask?
We figured out why he doesn't take the mask off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I was gonna say, with the storylines, like when it's Jack and excuse me, Huey, Jack
Quaid,
and the Butcher and even Mother's Milk. When those guys are on screen, I'm in it. But like once we get to the French guy and like I start or like A Train, I'm like, I don't really care about A Train either. So like on those fringe characters, there's the writing and dialogue is good enough to like keep it going, and so I'm interested. But there's definitely on the lower ends of the scale for interest level for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, as I just mentioned, Homelander, when Anthony Starr is on screen, everything's okay. I'm focused, like, what is going to happen here?
Yeah.
You never know. Like, when he was doing his birthday day outburst, like, are we going to fake out like there was in season 2 when he was mowing down the people with his laser eyes out in the plaza there? It's like, oh, this is going to be a fake out or something. He's not really saying this. So like constantly you're like, is this real? Is this not? Like, what is he doing? Like, you never know what he's going to make somebody do and say. But
I even saw theories that when Homelander visited Butcher was maybe one of the two of them's thought, instead of or dream or something, instead of it being real. So I don't think that's the case, but it makes you question like what is happening, what's not happening,
Definitely. Sounds like all 3 of us are in so far on The Boys season 3. We did 3 episodes. It looks like they're going to go weekly, so maybe when it gets to the finale, we can do a season 3 finale kind of recap. I don't know if we're going to be able to do week by week this time with everything going on this summer, but next week, we did a Sunday night show this week. We're going to be back to Monday, and we're going to talk about another season 3. This one is actually ending, and that's Barry. We're going to break down everything from Barry for season 3. A lot's been going on week by week, and I have a lot to talk about when it comes to this HBO comedy / drama. It's leaning more towards drama these days sometimes, but we'll break down everything season 3 of Barry. Make sure you are following us on Twitter and Instagram to make sure you know our schedule. This summer is going to be a little crazy. So definitely follow us so you can find out when we are recording live and when episodes are going up on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, the blog, doredundancy.com, and of course, twitch.tv/doredundancy, usually Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern. I got to thank both of you guys for joining me tonight, for doing it on a Sunday this week, for watching 3 episodes of one show, and for John putting this episode up on YouTube and Apple Podcasts and everything like that. I couldn't do it without you.
Amen.
Until next time, I'm David Allen.
I'm Jim Berwick.
And I'm Kyle Bridger.
And that's all we got for Do or Duncy. Goodbye, everybody.